This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
And boom!
Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms your housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Okay, calm down.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
I'm a fraud. Yes.
Sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. And you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs. Cat right X, cat right X.
Once you get over that Anoka County line and head north, your troubles are behind you.
Now what do you think? What do you think of that?
Yeah, just like an old-fashioned barber shop.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Cam Dantzler, what are you doing?
Olad Pocket Protector Power Rankings.
Yeah, I always love that one. Boy, how disappointing is that?
Let's go.
And he's loose!
We'll keep playing until someone puts the puck in the net. Lamb on the right side. In the corner, Oleksic. Schmidt now for Oleksic in behind. He centers. Yes!
Kyle Schmidt has won the championship! UNT has won the championship! Kyle Schmidt with the game winner! Yeah, baby!
Okay, calm down.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about
Bomb. He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north.
Not even close.
This is the common man, Dan Cole.
You think there's a lot of major construction on the roadways? Wait till you see when they start reconfiguring the height of the door frames at 1600 Utica Avenue South. Little Ack to Dak and Dak Ack to you and yours. I'm the common man, Dan Cole. He's 10 to be here until 3. Rock Talk, 1:30. The legendary Mark Rosen will join us just prior to 2 o'clock. Andrew Myers is a state representative. He's the co-chair of the Suburban Solutions Caucus out of Hennepin County. I've happened upon a copy of I guess it would be an email, but a letter, so correspondence, let's say, between Andrew and Commissioner Nancy Daubenberger. She's with the Minnesota Department of Transportation, which is located on 395 John Ireland Boulevard. A closed circuit to Mark Rose and John Ireland Boulevard is in St. Paul, somewhere you've never been, so I'm sure you're not aware of where John Ireland Boulevard is, but it's located in St. Paul. It says, Dear Commissioner Daubenberger, I'm reaching out on behalf of my constituents in the western suburbs who commute regularly to Minneapolis and St. Paul. I've heard from a growing number of residents who prioritize transportation safety and are concerned about the current construction on the I-94 corridor and the simultaneous upcoming work on I-394. To help provide them with accurate information and content, I'd appreciate your responses to the following questions. Number one, I-394 to I-94 East merge at Dunwoody. My understanding is that all traffic transitioning from I-394 to I-94 East is now to be funneled into a single lane near Dunwoody, already a very congested bottleneck in the metro. It seems that much of the delay in this segment is caused by last-second lane changes. Is MnDOT working to create pragmatic solutions to address this, like installing plastic lane dividers along the exit lane to reduce aggressive merging and improve flow? Additionally, is there a long-term plan to improve the efficiency of this exit? They're trying to eliminate the 394-94 quick slipping.
What's this representative's name?
This is Andrew Myers. He's state representative, co-chair of the Suburban Solutions Caucus. He's looking...
Where can I make a donation for him to be the next governor?
He's looking for solutions. Suburban solutions.
Yeah.
Is what he's looking for. Stop with the nonsense with the plastic dividers. Hire me, Skip Barber Racing School graduate, to teach the 394-94 quick slipping. I'll admit it's a bit aggressive, but if you do it, what do you think is more dangerous? Allowing motorcyclists to drive between lanes of traffic on the dotted line during rush hour? Or to just be tooling on down the 394, you're just driving, you're going, okay, I'm in the west exit, and I want to go east, and there we go, there's space, and boom, just quick in. Not stopping in the west, that middle lane that exits west, and just waiting for someone to let you in, and then backing up traffic. Otherwise, I'm not suggesting that whatsoever. Here's another. I-394 West merge west of downtown. When exiting Minneapolis onto I-394 West, there's a short segment that forces all traffic to merge into a single lane, only for the roadway to reopen into 3 lanes shortly afterward. Given the available shoulder width, have MnDOT and its engineers considered eliminating this unnecessary choke point as part of the upcoming construction, or have any other options been approved? Suddenly, Andrew's he's a highway designer. If they thought about this over at MnDOT, I know those guys only went to school for this. Highway engineers, it's not just like you see, you go to government jobs, state of Minnesota, and says, highway engineer wanted. You go, sounds like a great job. I'll just learn on the job. What a great career. These people, they study this, but he's got it all fair.
It's the same crowd that instead of listening to their doctors, they do their own research.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Given the available shoulder width, have MnDOT and its engineers considered eliminating this unnecessary choke point as part of the upcoming construction? Or have any of their options been proposed? What are they thinking about it? He's got all the answers. Construction scheduling and duration. Considering the significant costs in time, emissions, and public frustration associated with these projects, is MnDOT planning to conduct 24/7 construction to accelerate completion timelines? Round the clock. Sort of like a radio station, right? We don't shut her down at, 9 p.m. at night. Guess we're going to shut her down. We go 24/7, 365 days a year, and that's what State Representative Andrew Myers is recommending or suggesting that MnDOT do. Let's pick up the pace here. Of course, that's probably double and triple time to pay the employees, right? If you're working at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's pretty good loot, right? Thank you for your time and your continued service to Minnesota's infrastructure and transportation safety. I know there needs to be a balanced approach that addresses traffic speed, worker safety, driver safety, congestion, etc. I look forward to sharing your responses with the constituents in my district who are impacted daily by these projects. Well, here's what I would do. I would tell those constituents to move over to the east side of St. Paul. That's why I live on the east side. I'm a tough guy. Okay? If you're on, I'm the pride of the east side. And so I'm on the east side. We don't have those issues over there. We've taken care of our construction. So that would be I would tell your constituents, move. That's the easiest way to avoid all of these issues on the whole problem with I-394 to begin with is because we used to call it the Hartman Highway.
Yep.
Anybody if you got a lot of money, you just buy one of those little transponder boxes and it like $1.25 to drive from Wayzata, from Golden Pond. Most people call it Lake Minnetonka. I call it Golden Pond. To drive from Golden Pond to downtown Minneapolis and avoid the riffraff, and same thing going home, because their time's more important than yours and mine tend to be. And that was the very first, as far as I know, and maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that was the very first HOV, high occupancy vehicle lane. And of course, the wealthy in Wayzata said, well, I don't like uncomfortable silence. I drive alone. That I don't carpool. Why would I carpool with other people? I have a Rolls Royce or a BMW or whatever the case may be. I don't drive with people. Well, then you just pay us some money, pocket change, right?
Throw some money at it.
Yeah, and throw some money at it. What I suggested, and I've suggested this before, what they ought to do is for the wealthy in Wayzata. You remember those back when we were Lewis and Clark expedition? We were heading west from the East Coast, exploring the United States of America, and we put down some train tracks, and they would have those cow catchers on the front of the locomotives, so that if a cow or a bison were on the railroad track, it would just scoop them aside and push them into the ditch or into the sagebrush, right? Into the tumbleweeds, right? I suggest that all the wealthy Wayzatians, they get those cow catchers put on the front of their car so they can just push the riffraff like you and I out of the way, Tennessee, right? We're in their way to get home. Just push us off into the ditch and onto the shoulder of the road. Very controversial. Learn to drive better. That'd be my suggestion. The Department of Transportation has enough to do out there. We'll take a break, and as we go in, peek at the purple other side of the break. And Tennessee, you have a keyword, I believe.
The Fan and BigDeck.com, they want to give you a shot to win bonus box for their national cash contest. Just enter the keyword GRAND at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is GRAND. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Hot days, humid nights, and non-stop plans. All that heat can increase hair shedding, while a packed schedule can add stress, which can impact your hair. Nutrafol's whole-body approach and clinically tested formulas support your hair from within, so you can focus on living your best life all summer long.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages, such as postpartum or menopause, and lifestyle factors, such as a plant-based lifestyle, so you can get just what you need. Plus, users of Nutrafol men reported no impact to sexual performance.
Thank goodness. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In a clinical study, 84% of men showed improvement in their hair after 6 months taking Nutrafol Men Hair Growth Supplement, and 90% of women saw overall improvement in their hair after taking Nutrafol Women Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months.
Building a hair growth routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed. Enjoy free shipping, automated deliveries, and up to 20% savings with Nutrafol subscription. Plus, get free naturopathic doctor consults and a Headspace meditation membership.
Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering listeners $10 off your first month subscription. Free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. Enter promo code CULTURISTAS.
Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. Spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code CULTURISTAS. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code CULTURISTAS.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
Mall of America's mystery cards are back, and we're bringing them to you all summer long. Come grab yours at KFAN events throughout the summer and wherever you see our KFAN street team. Then make sure to redeem them at Mall of America for fun prizes and big discounts. See a full list of events at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Genevieve, do you want a dirty soda? Do you know what a dirty soda is?
A dirty soda?
Yeah, Kara turned me on to them. There's a store, a shop somewhere near here. It's what's the name of it? Soda, S-O-T-A, and they just sell. So it's just concoct. It's like getting mixed drinks without alcohol. So
yeah.
And so she's going to go get me one. I'm going to buy her one, and I'm going to get one. You want one?
I'm good.
I need to see the menu again. I think the last one I got had something like peach and mango. What did I get?
It was Diet Coke and orange and vanilla and cream.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you get me that one again?
Yeah.
Then I had her, she was going to go get my lunch because I thought I left it on the roof of the car. Abbott just hit it on me is what he did. Of course, I think I left it in his office. I know there are people that are annoyed when I eat on the air, so they would have been happy if my lunch wasn't here today. I think there are people who would say, we'd rather you just starve to death than eat on the air. So she's going to go get me one of those, they're called dirty soda, so I'm excited about it. Peek at the Purple is brought to our friends at Affordable Electric. They do, like if you have one of those electric vehicles, those EVs, they'll install one of those 240. You got to have like a 240 electrical outlet or something like that, so that it's basically the same as like your washer, your dryer outlet. Because you can just plug it right into a regular socket. I remember I had that Bolt for a while, and then they told me it was going to start on fire, so I traded it for my Impala. I had a Bolt for about 2 weeks. But the timing was bad because right when I got it, about a week later, they said some bolts have been starting on fire. Then it was, don't park it in your garage. Okay. Then the one where I traded it for the Impala was when they said, just don't park it near any car anywhere, even out in an open air parking lot. I said, well, I'm out. But they'll install them. Those EV things for you. Whatever your electrical needs are, they'll do them for you at Affordable Electric. They're easy to get a hold of, too. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. And I think I've told this to you before. Affordable Electric is, oh, boy, it's shockingly affordable. You sent me. This is made up, right? You doctored the headline of the Athletic story. 48 questions or answers about the Vikings defensive players. You have more questions than you have players. I couldn't even read it. I got to the headline and I said, this must be one of those. What was the name of that publication that does that fake stuff?
The Onion?
Yeah. I thought, well, this isn't the Athletic. This is the Onion. Do you have it in front of you?
They had the offensive players like a week ago. Remember when I asked you to just randomly pick out a offensive player or two, and then we read up. I think Jordan Mason was one.
Well, I'll play along.
I mean, it's 46 defensive players. So,
okay.
Is there one that you have you'd like to hear a comment about?
Let's go with Gink, because Gink was listed as. Did you say it was the NFL.com? They're slowly
like 88?
They're slowly in drips and drabs releasing the top 100 players in the NFL, and they're starting like at 100. Are they just doing like one a day, or is it like a vitamin, or are they doing like a couple
a day? I think.
Okay. Yeah. So Gink was at 88. I think that was released yesterday or the day before. So what is this?
This is
Is this Andrew Kramer?
No, Alec Lewis.
This is Alec.
This is Athletic.
Oh yeah, that's what you said. Athletic.
So on Andrew Van Ginkel Edge, he may intercept these words and take them to the house. We'll see. He is a magician masquerading as a Game of Thrones character. The look may fool opponents, but it won't fool us.
That's all it says?
That's all it says about Van Ginkel, yeah.
Dude, bro.
Would you like a different player?
Yeah. How about Ivan Pace Jr.?
He's the first one on here.
Oh, really?
He is the American football version of the Tasmanian Devil, a complete wrecking ball. Pace is a menace as a pass rusher. Coverage remains a work in progress, to put it nicely. He'll be needed in 2025 for run stopping.
I was going to hit quack, but he actually said run stop. What did he say was a work in progress?
Coverage remains a work in progress, to put it nicely.
In other words, throw early and often at Ivan Pace.
In other words, he ain't seeing third down.
Yeah, he's probably not. What does it say about our guy, Dallas Turner?
Doesn't handle his money well. No, that's some. Is there a more interesting player?
That's pretty good, Teddy. That was really good. I like that.
It says, is there a more interesting player on this list? Where defensive coordinator Brian Flores deploys Turner is one of the early storylines of the Viking season. Expect off-ball snaps. Expect the unexpected.
I just love when I love the listeners that get it. Shane from Lafayette, Louisiana. You know what his text was?
How do you spell that?
He just had R, capital R, and then looks like 6 lowercase R's. Where did that was PA when it was that hundreds of pounds, or which one was that?
No, I think it was the Gorg 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and he said, well, you always want to get out to the lead, but I want to keep it 0-0 as long as you can. And then PA went,
When PA does that, Mr. Positrometer.
Well, you know what somebody told me, too? That PA, they want to nominate PA for a preposterous statement. Yesterday, he said he thinks he's a branch from the Harry Carey tree, or a limb. He's a limb from the Harry Carey tree. I think he got Harry carried away. I mean, I know you're I know you're the national treasure, but, and you're really good at what you do. He's the best play-by-play guy in the business, but can you really start putting yourselves in the, that would be like me saying that I'm like
Howard Stern.
Well, I was going to say Dan Barrero, Paul Lambert, Corey Cove,
Chris
Hockey, and Paul Allen, Nordo, and you, and JG. You know, putting myself in the same breath as those guys would have been the same thing. So I don't know.
That'd be like comparing my golf swing to Adam Scott.
Well, I will say this. You've had an experience that's not unlike that. I was terrible again. How do I have one brilliant day on Monday, and today I played with Puma guy today. He's the Puma rep. He said, I'll play whatever tees you want to play. So we're at Willinger's. We played white. I think he shot one over. He was he can hit the ball a long way. So white's probably doesn't really challenge. Yeah, but it's still great. Yeah. But I'm just saying I don't think it really challenges him like the blue tees would have. But the way he hit it, he probably wouldn't have shot more than a couple over on the blue tees either. How about this start? Bogey, 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 double bogey. But then I parred 5, 6, 7, 8, birdied 9, parred 10 and 11. I had a 7-hole stretch of 1 under. And then it got away from me again. So it really wasn't worth if we didn't spin the wheel of topic today, it probably wouldn't even have come up anyway. This text message says, are you also having Kara buy you a pair of sweatpants? Not today. I'm not that fast. That did happen one time. I had an intern buy me a pair of sweatpants back when we were in Bloomington because I was so enormous. And that I was wearing jeans and it was cutting off I couldn't even breathe. So I said, I can't do 6 to 7 at night unless I get some sweatpants. They were kind of an ugly green, but it's another story in itself. That was Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. All of your electrical needs, go to affordable-electric.com. They are shockingly affordable. Controversial Vikings news, other side of the break. It's the Common Man program on the Fan.
You don't need to be ripped. You just need the right shirt. Epic Fits gives you a clean, confident silhouette, snug on the arms, soft on the skin, generous where it counts. And with deals like $15 per tee, they won't break the bank. Visit epicfits.com today. Epic Fits. T-shirts that get it.
Van.
sounds like some really psychedelic, multicolored galaxy uppers and downers and screamers and laughers kind of music.
Thanks to friends at Unreal, you can restock your wardrobe with Unreal golf apparel this year, just like Common. Register to win up to $1,000 in Unreal golf apparel on our contest page. One lucky winner will restock their closet with amazing golf apparel thanks to Unreal. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
Well, we have a daily segment we call Peek at the Purple. We just did Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. Every Thursday we have Peek at the Pros, brought to you by the Minnesota Golf Association, where we take a look at the leaderboard during round one of wherever the guys might be sticking a tee in the ground. I don't know what we should do for this alliteration, Tenneby. Have you heard of the American Century Celebrity Amateur Tournament? It happens every year. It's happening right now. And, we're always looking for alliteration. I can't think of one. I was thinking like Peek at the Imposters. It's a star-studded field. The favorite is Tony Romo, along with Marty Fish. Marty Fish, a local kid, right? I think he's from Edina, a tennis player. I think he and JG text and talk more than most people know. Patrick Peterson's playing. Jay Bilas, Jerome Betts, Vinny Del Negro, Chase Utley is in the field. Baker Mayfield, Alex Caruso, Mark Mulder, Brian Urlacher, Seth Curry, Raj Clemens, Devontae Adams, Ray Allen, Sam Darnold. And my two favorites, Joe Buck's in it as well, as is Rob Riggle and Larry the Cable Guy. And it's taking place right now. Do we have any scores? Can we look at the leaderboard? It's they do that modified stable forward format.
So I was going to say, it's not like golf. You're trying to get the highest score under their format.
Well, and you know why they do this, I think? It's because they don't want to embarrass the people by saying the leader's 66 over. So you have the double eagle, you get 10 points. Trust me, there'll be no 10-point shots.
So they've already played 3 rounds, huh?
Well, I thought it was started today.
I saw the 2024 results.
Yeah.
There we go. That's why.
No, it started today because they don't want to do it during the PGA tournament. So I think it starts today. They do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think. Double eagle gets you 10 points on the modified stable forward. There'll be no 10-point holes at the tournament this week. If you get a hole in one, you get 8 points. An eagle is worth 6, a birdie's 3, a par is 1. For a bogey, you get nothing. For a double bogey, you actually get -2 points. Do you have a 2025 leaderboard?
I'm only seeing the 2024 leaderboard.
Yeah, see, that was the same thing I found earlier today, too. They do a shotgun start. It's almost like live on steroids. It's they started at 7:45 this morning, the first group, shotgun start. Then there's a 1 o'clock shotgun start. Some of these pairings are, now you know me, Tenneby. I don't have anything against these people getting together and playing in a tournament. It's being telecast, I think, on NBC. NBC, it's at the Lake Tahoe Golf Casino, Massage Parlor, Country Club or something like that. I don't know what it is. But, some of these guys can play a little golf, I mean, they're, like, Steph Curry's pretty good. I think Thielen's playing too. I could have swore I saw Thielen's name. I thought I did.
Disappointed the website only has 2024.
Yeah, Thielen's playing too.
I could look at 2025 odds.
I looked at those 2025 odds. I think it was Tony Romo and Marty Fish were the odds-on favorites at 4-1. Who won it last? No.
Well, Steph Curry and
Steph Curry
and Marty Fish are the favorites.
Yes, that's what I just said, I think.
Oh, I thought you said Romo.
Oh, no, I did. Oh, did I say Romo? I'm
Romo's
sorry. I
the
didn't
fourth favorite.
Yeah, it was Steph Curry.
Joe Pavelski's 3-1. John Smoltz 5.5 to 1.
What's Jerome Bettis?
Where's the bus? Well, Joe Mauer's playing in it.
Is Joe playing in it too?
Yeah, he's 200 to 1.
I didn't see all the
Jerome Bettis is 250 to 1.
Do you think Joe just hits low worm burners like off the tee left, right off the tee? He's ball just
off the heel of the driver.
Yeah, and just bounces. Just like when he would hit those singles between first and second.
Now, when I was looking at the 2024 scores, do you know which Minnesota connection was at the very bottom of the leaderboard?
A Minnesota connection.
88th place out of 100. And one of them withdrew. So only one person golfed worse than this Minnesota connection.
Ventura. Sorry.
He was a Hall of Fame player. Currently an owner.
A-Rod?
A-Rod.
What did A-Rod
A-Rod
shoot?
was a minus 59.
Wow.
So I'm guessing you and I could beat A-Rod in golf. And would we not be better athletes?
Well, absolutely. And I do it steroid-free. Now, let me ask you a question. If this event were being played, what's the closest golf course to your place?
North Oaks.
If it were being played at North Oaks, would you go watch, or would you just say, I have no interest in watching Tony Romo slap golf balls around?
No, I would not be.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go either. Well, I recanted this tale before. It was called PAGL, Professional Athletes Golf League. They had one tournament before it folded, and it was at the old Rolling Green, now known as the Medina Country Club. And it was so long ago, I was just part-time. I was the capable Carl Allen and myself were doing Carl and Dan on the Fan. We were doing weekend talk shows. And we broadcast live from Rolling. Eddie Payton was there. And they actually televised it, but I think the ratings were so bad that they only did it one time. Because they thought, and this is what I think probably was the thought process behind it, right? Athletes that are used to being in the limelight in their own individual sport, like Eddie Payton was a football player, wasn't he?
Eddie Payton?
Yeah. Didn't Eddie Payton play football?
I know Walter Payton.
I think he's Walter Payton's brother, I think. Google Eddie Payton. I'm almost certain Eddie Payton was a football player. Former National League football player, right?
Yeah. Former running back, kick returner for the Browns, Lions, Chiefs, and Vikings.
Yeah. Okay. Eddie Payton. When did he play?
He's actually the older brother of Walter Payton.
Yeah. So there you go. So he was one of the players in there, and I don't remember all of them, but there were, I think John Brody might have been. There was all sorts of athletes. And so these guys are used to being in the limelight in the particular sport. Then when they retire, I think they kind of miss the cheering crowds, right? The adulation, the idolizing, and the pedestalization of them, right? Because they get that all the time. So I think they said, hey, I missed that. What can we do so we can still have the sports viewing public pay attention to us and we still get to compete? Because, when you play professional sports, you love competition. That's probably you miss the paycheck probably first, right? But you also miss the competition, right? So I know, let's start a golf league. We'll call it PAGL, the Professional Athletes Golf League. And the golf was hideous. And nobody watched. They did one. I used to have a hat from it. I can say that I'm the capable Carl Allen and myself, Carl Allen and the Fan, are the only major market radio talk show host to broadcast live from a PAGL tournament, because there was only one PAGL tournament and it folded. But that's the egos of these people that thought people will want to watch us play golf. Now, this is getting NBC coverage. So they must feel there are enough people that do want to watch Seth Curry go toe-to-toe with Rod Clemens.
Are the names in here bigger than the names back? I mean, there are some pretty big celebrity names.
I don't remember how many. I think there were some big names, but Eddie Payton stands out because we interviewed him on the air after his round, either before or after his round. We interviewed him. That's the only reason his name sticks out in my head. I don't remember. I wonder if you even Googled PAGL, PA Professional Athletes Golf League, if it would even pop up. If you've only done one tournament, there's no way there's any information there on the interweb. Right? There's not a chance. Even Grok AI doesn't know about it.
I Googled PAGL. It says PAGL is an acronym for Peace, Assurance, Gratitude, and Love.
Okay, yeah. So there it is. Professional Athletes Golf League. But the only one was held here in the state of Minnesota. And so and I think they found out in a real hurry, or the networks did, that said nobody wants to watch this.
Like Aaron Rodgers is playing. He's 40-1.
A-Rod.
Steph Curry's a big name.
Do you think Should they test A-Rod for ayahuasca? That's like when they do the...
Charles Barkley, by the way, is 7,500 to 1.
Is Chuck in it? Chuck? Well, wasn't there like some kind of on Golf Channel, somebody worked with Chuck? Wasn't it like Hank Haney or somebody? Because remember, he had the ugliest swing in the history of golf, and then somebody worked on his swing, and they turned it into a TV series. I mean, and again, teach his own, because people would say, well, you watch reruns of Gilligan's Island and Rockford Files, so who am I to say what you watch? But you really don't have a life if you're watching a TV show in which Hank Haney or David Ledbetter is trying to convert Chuck Barkley's awful swing into something that will work, that will actually get a ball airborne and forward. I mean, why would you watch that? I mean, maybe for the comic relief early on, you might watch, a couple minutes of it and go, oh, that's interesting. Look at Chuck. He's terrible. And then move on. But so go ahead.
I was going to say, the reason we don't have a leaderboard, it hasn't started yet. That starts Friday.
What?
It's Friday through Sunday.
Says right on mine, daily player pairings Wednesday, July 9th. So maybe, I guess they have the pairings, but they didn't start. So that's why. Oh, well, here's what I'll tell you, Tennessee. If I had that genie's bottle and I rubbed the bottle and the genie popped up and said, Master, you have 3 wishes. My first wish would be to have 3 more wishes. And my next wish would be that did you say the tournament starts Friday? That'd be Friday. So I could watch. Is
the Power Trip going to do a betting on it?
Well, they should.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do it. Who can we get in to come in and do it? Badger Bob. Officiating guy. Larry Modelo guy. Maury Amsterdam guy.
Meat Sauce will play.
Meat Sauce would play. Tennessee, we're not ghosting anybody. With the first pick in the American Century Investments Celebrity Pro-Am Tournament, Tennessee selects.
I'm just going to do it to the Power Trip and just go strictly by the betting.
Well, that's
just
what
go
they would do.
down the list of the top 10 golfers on betting. But there's a tie between Steph Curry and Marty Fish, so the same amount of odds. I feel like Marty has more experience in these types of tournaments. He's played more. He's probably won more than Steph has in this spot. I'm going to go Marty Fish with the first overall pick.
You want to hit value bet. Do you have the value bet sounder anywhere? I got a value bet for you.
Value bet.
Larry the Cable Guy. What kind of a player do you think Larry the Cable Guy is? Maybe he's really good.
2001 odds.
Is he the guy that does the bit where he goes, what's his bit, Larry the Cable Guy?
Get her done.
Get her done. Is it, get her in the hole. That's what I'd yell at it if I was in the gallery. I'd go, get her in the hole.
He's also very well known for his, you might be a redneck.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. You might be a redneck. Get her in the hole. I'd yell that really loud. Larry the Cable Guy. And then the Riggle character, the only reason I know him is, Fox Sports always does a little comedic bit between, like with 10 minutes left in the pregame show, right? Before the final comments from the panel, Michael, Joey, Johnny, Jimmy, Randy, Terry, Barry, Larry, the Cable Guy, and everybody else. They do their, and then they send it off to each stadium, right? Depending upon what market you're in, right? And Rob Riggle used to be the guy they would do. They've had, they'll use a comic for like 2 or 3 years, and then they figure, well, he's kind of run his course, and they bring somebody else. Caliendo used to do it. Is that his name? Frank Caliendo? Yep. Is that a comedian? So Frank Caliendo would do the little sketch, football-related sketch, and then Rob Riggle did it. I don't know who they had to do it. Maybe they just bounced the whole segment, but they used to do that. So
Thielen at 22 to 1, I feel like is good value.
Yeah. Well, if you'll remember, he literally told us when we broadcast him that he's thinking about when he's done with his football career, he's going to try to get a PGA Tour card.
How about there's 3 Currys? So Steph,
Madam,
is 2.4 to 1.
Yeah.
His dad, Dell, is 125 to 1. And then his brother, Seth, is 350 to 1. So there's a wide range of golf talent there in the Curry family.
How about Madam Curry? Is Madam Curry playing in the tournament? She would hit from the red tees. I think. I don't know. Maybe she's stronger than I think.
Also, like, Annika Sorenstam's in this. Should she be allowed to golf in this? I mean, she was a professional.
Not only a professional, but probably
one of the best of all time.
Maybe the greatest, male or female.
She golfed in a men's tournament, right?
Yeah. Male or female, she's one of the greatest players of all time.
I feel like she should not be in this tournament.
Well, then she's the odds-on favorite, right?
She's 6.5 to 1, which is the 6th betting favorite.
Oh, I'd put my money on her. I had an opportunity to interview her before. What was the occasion?
At the Royal Club?
Maybe it was at Royal Club, yeah. Because she designed, that's her first ever United States design. She designed the front side. They call it the King and the Queen. She was the architect on the front side. Arnold Palmer did the back nine, and Arnie did the front. No, Arnie did the back. Yeah, they call it the King and Queen, but they're reversed. Annika did the front side. And I've also been told this, and I think this is true. The 9 holes that Arnold designed at the Royal Club was the last design he ever did before he died. So it's Annika's, I think, first and only in the United States. And I could, even though I'm the official, unofficial ambassador, I also lie for a living. And this wouldn't be intentionalized. This would just be bad information. But if you listen to the show all the time, I don't always have. Very rarely do I have accurate information. This one says it's Jeff Foxworthy who does the redneck bit, 10 a beat.
Yes, I was.
If you've ever been too drunk to fish, you might be a redneck. Oh, were you just trying to reel people?
That's what I was doing.
Oh.
I thought you'd catch on.
No, because I've never.
I was intentionally trying to get them wrong.
Yeah, I see you reeled me in.
Because they both do the red, kind of that.
Yeah, but you reeled me in because I did not know. Because I have to admit, I've never seen Larry the Cable Guy or Jeff Foxworthy work. Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
They've never seen me work, so why should I go watch them? Do you think Jeff Foxworthy's ever been in the audience? I want to see this common guy. I heard he's pretty funny.
You'd let him open at Flop, Sweat, and Tears, though, wouldn't you?
Hell yeah.
Maybe he's kind of disappeared a little bit.
Maybe I could steal some of his material. I got it's called the Regulator.
Mount up.
It's Diet Coke and vanilla and cherry. It's really good. Mount up. What's Mount up? Is that Larry the Cable Guy?
No, there's a rap song in the 90s from Warren G. and Nate Dogg called Regulate. And
we came to regulate.
At the beginning of the song, they go, mount up.
Mount up and let's regulate. By the way, how was Ludacris at the Twins game? Did you go to see Ludacris?
Ludacris was at, what are they called? The free concert.
Oh, what did you see?
I haven't seen. Well, I'm due to see Nelly after the Twins game Friday night.
That's
but
right.
The weather forecast doesn't look good for Friday, so Leo's going to be very disappointed.
Okay, so I got confused.
I'm going to see Nelly Friday night, but Ludacris came this last weekend. I did not see him. Was that Taste of Minnesota? Is that where he was at?
Where's Ludacris at in his career? Is it the beginning of the end, the middle of the end, or the end of the end?
I mean, he was big in the 2000s.
Okay.
What do you call that decade? The aughts? I don't know what you call that.
So, but he's still scratching out a living, right?
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't need to even scratch out a living. I'm sure he's very well off.
Right.
But still, he was big enough that he could still fill some stadiums and arenas.
Okay. He worked the Vikings Giants.
I think he did. Yeah.
Game. I was there for
Were
that.
You there?
Yeah. That worked well. That inspired the troops. That was also where Johnny Randall did the pump-up video. Are you aware of the pump-up video? Because they didn't have it on TV. It was just in the stadium. And he was just pumping it up and talking about how we were going to bash the Giants and do this and all that. And then we just, well, you know what happened. Just checked down Hawkinson out in the flat. And you know what is, look, I said it then and I'll say it again. Sure, Cousins probably should have just chucked it up down to the end zone or something, but it's not against the law for Hawkinson to try to break a tackle either, you know? You're big. You're 6'6", 280, push the guy off. Stiff. Do they even do the stiff arm anymore in football? Well, stiff arm the defender, break a tackle, and get the first down.
It's a little harder to break tackles when you're being tackled as you're catching the ball. That makes it more challenging to get the yak.
Someone says there were issues at the Ludacris concert. People
were mad they couldn't get in, I think.
Is that what happened?
I thought I heard that somewhere.
Well, had they bought?
Because I think it's like a free concert that you have to, if I recall. But you need to still get a ticket ahead of time. It sounds like people tried to show up, and then they were being turned away.
And so then they got mad.
Yes.
So what happened? Was there...
the whole thing was just ludicrous.
Did they tear gas there?
I literally did not read a story on this. I saw it mentioned on Twitter somewhere.
On social.
Yeah. So I'm giving you very surface level information here. I can't go in depth on it.
What's Ludacris's biggest hit? Would you know offhand? Were you a Ludacris guy?
I thought he was okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was a little bit overrated. All he does is he just emphasizes the last word on every single line he makes, every rap. And it's kind of like, that worked for a song or two, but after going song after song of just really punching in that last word. My gal loves him.
Let me guess, he resembles Adam Scott. Common, have Tennant play the Warren G song and see what classic song it stole from. Well, They all sample.
Well, this one was a blatant steal.
Yeah, but don't they all do that?
They all the rap songs do, yes.
Yeah, this is what they do.
Basically, every song I liked in the 1990s, I found out about 10, 15 years later who they were sampling.
Now, this one says, no issues at the Ludacris concert. Anything besides Beyond Being Turned Away is made up by Crime Watch page.
Oh, it's all made up?
So there's a Crime Watch page. Well, I think Crime Watch page, I know someone who frequents it, and I think they do exaggerate sometimes to try to get people going. But I don't know. I wasn't there.
To try to prop up their sagging ratings. Clickbait?
If Ludacris or any act takes the stage after 8 p.m., I'm already asleep, so I wouldn't even be there. I wouldn't go. That's why I stay out of trouble. I really, truly do. Hey, matter of fact, we'll ask Brian Oak about Ludacris. If he was there. Maybe he was at the Ludacris concert. Because he'll join us for
I'd love to hear his opinion on Ludacris.
Yeah. He'll join us for Rock Talk at 1:30, and then Mark Rosen at 2 o'clock. 534, other side of the break, Tanner, what you got?
Is a local star player on the trading block.
Got you.